It's just a Godspeed kind of day. Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. Time for a video where we talk about stuff. Question, comment, thing. Let me preface this video by saying that I feel incredibly fortunate and lucky to be kind of running a YouTube channel where I'm able to talk about music on a regular basis, and people who love music are extremely just emotionally affected by music, music just plays a huge role in their lives. People like that care. I feel very lucky to be in that position, but I feel like part of the reason I am here is because I just maybe sort of sometimes have strong opinions, and I tend to stick by them, but that doesn't mean other opinions are not valid or that I don't like listening to other opinions or sort of taking them into consideration, because sometimes they either change the way that I think or maybe, just sort of give me a new perception. And I actually like people seeing kind of react to my reviews, even if it is in a negative way, because I feel like that sort of, I don't know, maybe in a way helps me make them better. Now recently I did kind of have a few reviews that sort of were humming the same tune. I guess it can kind of be summed up in my recent review of the new Local Natives record, where you kind of have a group that, in my opinion, is maybe a little derivative, maybe kind of generic, sort of lacking in its own spin on the sounds that sort of, I guess, influence it. And of course, some people reacted to that negatively. Those reactions got me thinking and got me wondering, what exactly is derivative music? What exactly is generic music? How do you really know something to be generic? And is being generic necessarily a terrible thing? Can an artist make a generic album or kind of, I guess, sort of have a lack of an original sound and still that album be fantastic? A while ago, I did a video on originality where I kind of came to the conclusion that nothing really is 100% original. Nearly every artist in numerous mediums or styles of art can pretty much be traced back to other artists. Everybody is borrowing ideas in some way, shape, or form, but I don't think something being original and something being derivative or generic, I don't think these terms, or at least the way that, we use them to talk about music, I don't think it's all as black and white as it may seem on the surface. Really, I kind of see, I guess, originality and a lack of originality as kind of a grayscale. You can have certain levels of originality. I feel like I can only handle a certain level of familiarity before I just kind of find myself tuning out or getting bored or just generally feeling like I don't really care because I've kind of heard this before. And the only way I kind of feel like I avoid that emotion is if I feel like I've heard this before, but now in this instance it's better, or maybe there's kind of a, like I said earlier, a different spin, a different personality. They write unique songs, but still kind of in this same style. There are quite a few artists that I have reviewed recently who have influences that are very, very obvious, some of them more contemporary than others, but still I managed to love their music because I personally feel that their spin on their influences is unique or original enough to the point where it keeps me interested. Tame Impala, I Am I Who Am I, Foxygen, Action Bronson, The Tallest Man on Earth. And even though I really love them, I could completely understand how someone would come across their work and find it really generic and derivative and maybe boring because of that. I see that there is, kind of two sides to this fence, but there isn't really like, this conclusive way to kind of say whether or not an album is generic or an album is derivative. What's generic depends so much on your life experience, just how old you are, how long you've been listening to music, how many different albums you've listened to, how many genres you've listened to, which artists and what genres you've listened to first. But I guess really what I'm getting at and what I want to ask is, what is generic to you? What makes something, I guess, sort of commonplace in your eyes? What albums, in your opinion, are generic? How do you know a generic album when you hear it? Do you ever, I guess, sort of listen to an artist and maybe you've thought they were generic, but you ended up enjoying their music anyway? Let me know. Anthony Fantano, derivative, forever. No, honey, that's just the world warming over because we have climate change.